The three main categories that we're dealing with for brandy in South Africa is pot still brandy, brandy, and then vintage brandy. Pot still brandy that's distilled below 75% ABV in the pot still, retaining the flavor of the grape, and then aged for 3 years, between 3 and 8 years, in an oak barrel, less than 340 liters in size, and it's got an alcohol content of 38%. The main thing about a pot still brandy, it must come from grapes, it must be batch distilled, and the alcohol content may not be higher than 75%. You must retain the flavor of the grape. Brandy consists of 30% on basis of volume of absolute alcohol of pot still. So 30% of the mix, a minimum of 30%, must come from a batch operated still and distilled below 75% and aged for 3 years. Vintage brandy also consists of a mix of pot still and grape spirit. It has to have some grape spirit in there, a minimum of 20%, and it is then matured for at least 8 years. So pot still and vintage can be at 38% alcohol by volume, where blended brandy or brandy will be a minimum of 43% alcohol by volume. And then most important of all, they need to look at Table 6 of the National Liquor Products Act regulations, the list of substances that may be allowed to be added to the spirit. For instance, plant material and extracts of plant material is allowed in brandy, but flavorings that are nature identical, artificial flavors, that's not allowed. Not a lot of people know about this paragraph in the legislation that you are allowed to infuse brandy, and that's one of the things that we're seeing now, honey brandy, rooibos brandy, and so on coming out.